Welcome all to this irrigation engineering subject code 161055, and we are going to see the concepts of percolation tanks in this concept, and what are the contents of the lecture is mentioned in the other slide. I am going to explain it. Okay, we are going to be seeing the percolation tanks, their necessity, importance, site selection and layout of lift irrigation scheme and the irrigation department standards in the upcoming slides. Fine. Okay, what is a percolation tank? The percolation tank is an artificial reservoir which are constructed across stream, submerging a land area with adequate permeability to facilitate sufficient percolation to collect surface water runoff and allow it to percolate with the permeable land. Okay, what does this statement means that a percolation tank is an artificial tank. Okay, understand the concept carefully. The percolation tank is an artificial tank which is constructed across the stream. That means that when a stream is naturally flowing through its pathway, the percolation tanks are artificially constructed across the streams at certain intervals, so that the water from the stream are actually diverted a little bit to these percolation tanks. And in the percolation tanks generally have percolating pores. That means certain type of pores which are provided at the at a certain depth from the top surface of the percolation tanks in the ground portion, so that the water which is flowing as a runoff water from the streams actually enters into this percolation tanks, and it finally enters the groundwater table which is present at a certain depth and finally reaches the wells which are present in the nearby land area. Okay, this water which is reaching the final well is being used for irrigation purposes and other public usage purposes. Okay, fine. Okay, let's look into the guidelines for construction of percolation tanks. Actually, the percolation tanks are normally constructed in a terrain, okay, which means that the terrain is a area which is having undulations, like it will be like uneven area, okay. There will be a flat terrain which is being done artificially, like they will put roads or something, but these artificial terrains are not similar to natural terrains, okay. Natural terrains have highly fractured or weathered rocks, like they will be uneven, like broken, or like they will have natural cracks over them, okay. So that the percolation tanks can be constructed only at these portions, so that they can do a speedy recharge, which means that the water which is flowing across the streams are allowed to flow to this fractures which are present at that portion, so that the water can get speed, can flow at a greater rate, in a greater permeable rate into the land area, okay. So it explains the first point, okay. The second point explains the too high permeability may result in the percolated water escaping in the downstream as regenerated surface flow, hence it will defeat the purpose of water conservation, which means that the higher permeability, like the land, if suppose it has more permeability, the water will be escaping in the downstream, like you cannot store the water completely, okay. It will actually flow continuously to some other portions where the storage tank will not be available, okay, or where you want to store that portion, it will not be going, the water will not be moving there, okay. So that too high permeability will be a disadvantages for this construction of the percolation tank, okay. The third point explains the aquifer. Aquifer is a like a portion which stores water whenever the rain is happening, or like water continuously flows through a particular place, the water will permeate through a through pores present in the soil, and it will automatically store in a rock like formation which is present beneath the, like beneath the ground surface, okay. This is called as an aquifer. Okay, you all may also studied from various sources, like they have drilled certain amount of depth and they have obtained the water table through bores, okay. The drilling which is done is on these aquifers, okay. The when you are constructing a house, you are going to put a bore, okay. You are going to put a bore on the soil which reaches the aquifer portion, okay. Oh, this aquifer portion connects to the groundwater table, okay. Actually this is an aquifer, okay. Okay, then the sufficient thickness of the aquifer is about 3 meter. Okay, yeah, actually the aquifer's thickness should be 3 meter at least. Okay, so that you can accommodate the recharge. Suppose the aquifer is like more than 3 meters, then you must put so much effort to construct. Okay, but if 3 meters is like an allowable amount, then you can easily store the water at this aquifer portion. Okay, fine. Then the benefited area must have sufficient number of wells. Okay, it means that suppose you are going to construct the percolation tank at a particular area, then you must see the wells which are present in the nearby land. Okay, whether it suits the irrigation or it suits the public purposes, you must overview. Okay, then only you should construct the percolation tank. Okay, then the fifth point explains the it is advisable and benefiting to have percolation tank in an area of good or average catchment, which means that suppose you are going to construct a percolation tank and you are going to analyze the area whether the percolation tank can be constructed at a place where you can get a good catchment. Okay, it is sustainable, then you can go ahead and construct that percolation tank there. Okay, you can decide the catchment area based upon how much area how much depth you are going to construct the particular percolation tank. Okay, that determines a good catchment. Okay, fine. Then the sixth point, long-term evaluation of the pattern of rainfall for the benefited area must be studied so that percolation tank gets filled up fully during monsoon. Okay, which means which you can understand easily. Like during monsoon times, there will be heavy rain and heavy floods. Like if we compare North India and South India gets a little bit little rainfall. Like I mean the Tamil Nadu regions, they get like a little amount of rainfall than North India. Actually, more floods occur in Orissa, Bihar, and like in the northern states like Uttarakhand, like that. Okay, but in South India, Kerala obtains more amount of rainfall, so more floods occur at that place. Not unlike Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu does not have gets affected by more floods at the rainy seasons. Okay, so you have to identify if you are identifying South India, you should see the places where floods are occurring at an higher amount. So you can construct the percolation tank at those places. Okay, but in North India, you can see majority of the places will be covered by floods. Okay, so that you can construct percolation tanks at those majority of these places. So the seventh point explains this example. Okay, fine. Then you have to identify the silting at the bottom of the tank. Actually, if your tank you constructed consumes more amount of silt, then the soils in the catchment area should be preferably of light sandy types. It means that if you are constructing a percolating tank at that particular position, and the silt which is washed away through the streams and which settles at the down portion actually blocks the permeability. Okay, if it continuously blocks like that, it means like a large amount of stone like formations or sand like formations, if they are not fine, they will actually block the water passage which is present at the down portion of the percolation tank, and it does not allow the permeability of water. So that you must check whether it is like a light sandy type. Okay, if it is light sandy type, you can actually go ahead and you can construct the percolation tank. Okay, then the ninth point, the ideal size of the percolation tank must be governed by its capacity. Okay, actually this means that the percolation tanks are designed based on two parameters, like the storage capacity and the amount of depth. Okay, the storage capacity must be between 0.01 to 0.5 mcm. Okay, and the like the water column up to which it should be stored is like 4.5 meter. The depth should be up to 4.5 meter. Okay, fine. Okay, you have to select the site for the construction of a percolation tank. Okay, the three most important points which are being taken in hand for the construction of percolation tanks are: the first point, the site should be such that largest storage volume is available within the least amount of earthfill, which means that you are going to construct an artificial tank. Okay, you cannot spend more amount of money in that. Okay, so that with the natural earth excavation, you have to construct it. Okay, you should construct with a large volume. Okay, you with a large volume and least amount of earth filling. Okay, you should construct like that. Okay, then the second one, a narrow section of the valley with steep side slopes is preferable, which means that if you increase the side slope of the like the tank, actually water will store fast, and it will actually the flow velocity will be higher, and it will store the water within like an hour or like something. Or if you are if you are like constructing without any slope, then the water which is being stored will be like stored only to a half or like quarters. Okay, so that you should fill up to the full amount. Okay, so that you should construct up like a steep like slope formation. Okay, okay, then the third point is like percolation ponds are found in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat and Karnataka. Okay, the southern states, actually southern states have high amount of percolation tank, so that they can store water and you use during summer seasons. Okay, yeah, the rainy seasons will be like 3 months in Tamil Nadu. Okay, the in those months and in those 3 months, sometimes rainfall will also occur or not will not occur. Okay, it will be like too dry sometimes, or too rainfall will be like not much, it will be like medium, so that you should catch more amount of water within a minimum amount of time, so that you should construct more percolation tanks. So more percolation ponds are found in this southern parts of India. Okay, fine. Okay, in the last slides we have seen about the percolation tanks, and in this slide we are going to see about the lift irrigation. Actually, understand, lift irrigation is an artificial type of irrigation. Okay, like the lift irrigation involves the pipelines. Okay, the pipelines are like constructed from the main delivery chamber. Okay, main delivery chamber to the particular irrigating land. Okay, or the place where the agriculture is going to be started. Okay, like the irrigation is has to be carried out from the storage tank, which is present at several kilometers away from the land you are going to irrigate, and this storage tank is connected through pipelines, and it is connected to a main delivery chamber which is present a little bit nearby the irrigating land, and from there through pipelines the water is going to reach the irrigation land. Okay, this is what the lift irrigation concept involves. Okay, the two main tasks you have to achieve for doing an lift irrigation is that, first one, the water which you are carrying from the source to the main delivery chamber should be determined. You have to determine a place where you are going to collect the water from the storage, and you are going to deliver to it to the main delivery chamber, and finally to the irrigating land. Okay, then the second point, the water which is being distributed to the field should be beneficial to the farmers. Okay, by suitable and proper distribution, you have to decide what type of pipeline you are going to construct, and in which distance you are going to construct, and what type of material you are going to use for the construction. Okay, so that how it beneficial it will be to the farmers. Okay, fine. Okay, this layout explains about the lift irrigation procedure. Okay, you can see a diagram which represents how lift irrigation actually works. Okay, I'm going to explain you what is happening in this lift irrigation. Okay, you can see in the leftmost portion there is a full reservoir level of water source which is present on the left side, the extreme left side, and where a lifting arrangement is present little bit nearby. Okay, the water is allowed to flow actually from this point by through this gate like formation, like it is allowed to go through this gate like formation, and from where the water is being lifted through this lift arrangement, and it is allowed to pass through this gate like formation here. This is called as the sluice gate, and this gate actually opens, this gate actually opens this sluice gate actually opens, and the water is allowed to flow to this particular point, and where water is being lifted at this point, and it is being lifted to this particular point, and it is allowed to store into this chamber like area. Okay, where the water is being pumped up. Okay, through this motor which is present at the topmost region under this EOT crane like structure, and the water will be allowed to flow to this particular main chamber. Okay, this is the main chamber. I have marked in the right side at the top. To this main chamber, the pipelines have been attached for the flow of water to the main chamber, and this main chamber is also known as the delivery chamber. Okay, the water level which is being maintained is seen at this particular point. Okay, this is like max water level, full reservoir level, and minimum drawdown level. Okay, this is where they are going to measure how much water is present for actually delivering to the main delivery chamber. Okay, the delivery pipe which is present at the middle portion, okay, is being attached with this motor, okay, for the lifting up of water from this main chamber. Okay, then the water is being pumped to the delivery chamber. Okay, and then it is finally fed into the canals. Okay, fine. Okay, what is the distribution procedure in lift irrigation is going to be explained in this slide. Okay, actually you can see in the first point, the system for collecting water from the source is uses pumps. Okay, like in the previous slide, there is a lift arrangement which is present at the left hand side of the slide. You can see that clearly, from where this, from the source the water is being collected and passed to that lifting arrangement, and the distribution system which is present at the downside portion is like a gravity based. Okay, the water should be designed such that the water should flow to that particular portion in a gravity manner through that sluice gates which are present at that downstream portion. You can see in the previous slide, the near the lifting arrangement on the right hand side, you can see a little bit sluice gate like arrangement. The water, the pumped water from the lifting arrangement is actually allowed to float to that particular sluice gate arrangement to the final portion through this gravity basis. Okay, there will be no pumping or no pushing through any motor like structures. The flow will be completely through gravity. Okay, and you have to also see whether the available hydraulic head HL is being maintained. Okay, then in the second point, also the area to be irrigated is scattered. Actually, the from the main chamber, okay, from the main chamber or the primary chamber, you are going to irrigate the land. Okay, through the canal you are going to pass the water. Okay, actually you have to see whether the canal is going to pass through each and every like irrigating land which is present in its path. Okay, so that only you can actually it will be efficient. It will be efficient through sending the water to this particular canal. Okay, you have to see whether the particular percolation tank is being connected so that it irrigates all the scattered places across the total region of the canal. Okay, you have to analyze it. Okay, then in advanced methodology, the area under irrigation is divided into different blocks according to topography determined by contour plan. Actually, if you are going to construct the particular percolation tank, you have to first analyze the topography. Okay, you have to see where and all the irrigating lands are there. Okay, then only you can identify which can be particular place or particular site which can be selected for the construction of the percolation tank, so that it covers all the irrigating lands around it. Okay, you have to analyze the topographical pattern by analyzing the contour plan. Okay, actually you cannot identify the topography in like globe or like in a map. Okay, or just in a like a sheet. Okay, you have to analyze the contour plan. Okay, contour plan is like a total 2D view plan. So there it mentions where and all the irrigation lands are there, and where and all the wells are present, and where and all the natural related alignments are being present. Okay, that is a contour plan. Okay, then the water requirement for each block is determined, and pipelines are designed for these blocks depending on the available head and required discharge. Okay, which means that the pipelines which you are going to pump the water from the source should be designed, okay, in such a way that you are going to take the water from a certain available head, and the discharge capacity will be even. Okay, not much fast or not much slow. You have to decide that discharge capacity. Okay, fine. Okay, these are the lift irrigation schemes which have been imposed in India till now. Okay, like you can see in this slide, these are the live. Actually, these are present in each and every state. Okay, like Abhyutan Gramville Vikas Mandal is the name of this scheme, and the irrigating area is 467 hectare, and the location is Uchal Tapi district. Okay, then it is being arranged by Irrigation Department, Government of Gujarat. Okay, okay, and you can see the cost and how much expenses that have been done in lakhs. Okay, then you can see the Shivaganga Co-op LI scheme, which is being constructed in Nashik district, and you can see how much area it is being irrigated, like 50 hectares, and when it was constructed, like it was constructed at 1999, which is an oldest scheme. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, here you are seeing the standards which are prescribed by Indians, like Indian standards for piped irrigation network. Okay, first you can see the canal based conveyance, and second one is the pipe based conveyance. Okay, the second one here represents the field pipe efficiency, which means that you are going to supply through pipes. Okay, not through like a gravity flow. Okay, so the conveyance efficiency should be like 95 for sprinkler, and drip it's 95, surface irrigation is 95. You all know about the sprinkler, drip and surface irrigation, no? These are actually done mainly through this piped irrigation network. Okay, you should understand that clearly. Okay, the efficiency you should reach is like mentioned here, like the micro irrigation is like 95, 95, 95. Field application efficiency should be 75, 90, 60. At least you have to reach this efficiency. Okay, the field efficiency is the practical efficiency, like 75, 90, 60. You should at least achieve this efficiency. Okay, fine.